And I'm down here at the museum documenting what it looks like as of this date. This is the kitchen. We have repainted the walls in here since we got the building. Got the popcorn machine in here. We're missing a refrigerator right there because it was burned out. We're going to come in here this week of March the 10th and paint the cabinets white. But this is the way they look as of this date. Our freezer looks wonderful. Virginia Sutton spray painted it and it looks brand new. We're hoping the cabinets look as much improved when we get through with those. Out here in the first room, we've got it blocked off to try to keep some of the cold air out. Nancy Nolte's new phonograph player there. Speaker stand. Got some tables set up in here still. Have stuff laid out, work that needs to be done. We've repainted our serving tables over here underneath the window out of the kitchen and ready for that. There's a cabinet that needs to be moved out the front door and in the front door of Stanley's and used for storage. I have a little corner over here dedicated to the cottonwood tree, I guess, and my plant that needs to be watered, and a little carving made out of the old cottonwood tree. Up here in our front window, we have a pretty good start on our first window display in the new museum. I should probably be outside shooting in. This is the night. What we were reading is the theme of our windows. This is what we were reading in the 1930s. And we have an old school desk that we think might actually have been from Frankfurt. We have a funny little stand here that's got a board on it that says Blue Rapids that we got from Denton's sale. Right there. Somebody had a shipping crate apparently that came in. Some of our books there, the Steinbeck and Jane Stewardess and Nellie Silver Mine and the Good Tarzan book and the Native American book. Here's my Tarzan. And some old school books. Chalk box appeared up here on top. American School, Ink Bottle, Tailspin Tommy. More of those cartoon type books inside the desk. I think it's a little boy's desk. Got a rubber truck in there too. But some of the things that we were reading. The next window is the 1940s. And we have this table, and there's an old radio underneath and some stacks of books. Maybe probably not final arrangement on this. This doll is Winifred Elmborg's. It may or may not be the one she had as a little girl, but it is just like the one she had. And she found it in an antique shop and paid big bucks to have it refurbished so that it's fresh and unmarred and unscratched and all nice and clean. We're waiting for a a kitchen cabinet to appear that's going to set against this wall. Our old ironing board and washboard and Singer sewing machine trash can and a dress from 1940s. Stuff waiting to be processed, waiting to be put in the windows, the picture frames that we're taking the VFW information out of and washing them and then going to put in photos of our own choosing in those. We'll go into and this is in the other room. Here's our window that is going to be the 1950s window. And we have some 1950s magazines and a skirt of the type that was worn then. And there's an annual that somebody was in the midst of reading hanging over the end of the bed. Some old records. Penny loafers, of course. Look magazine. This is the church messenger from the Presbyterian Church in, thinking it's 1951. Yeah, I don't see the date right off. An old suitcase. This is the dressing table that's made out of 2 orange crates put together and then wallpapered to kind of cover up what it was made from. We have a mirror on the top and a lamp from Virginia Sutton that was like what she had when she was a young woman still living at home. This is our 1960s window. It features right now primarily a table made under Mr. Brechta's guidance And it would have been made in 57, 58, but probably has been used. I know it's been used since that time for a coffee table end table. There's a lamp that came out of Dr. Bodkin's office when he first moved in, and he chose not to use that. And we're still waiting for the appropriate chair and some other stuff to put in this. But again, we've got some novels from the period and a few magazines on the coffee table from the 60s. And then looking back here, we've got a shelf there, a display case that Lori Parker gave us, and we've got some tables set up for the VFW to sort their materials out on and get out of the office back there that we would like to move into. And doesn't that look nice? That's our present day office. Our computer just came in today and got set up. It's not hooked up, but it's electrified, and so there are things you can do on it. Got a couple of chairs that are comfortable and a couch, and face our TV where we can play some of our DVDs. And of course we have all kinds of stuff hidden out behind that desk in the corner that needs to be filed and sorted and put so that we can find it when we need it. This is a cabinet over here that we think came out of the city clerk's office when it used to be over in the old fire station. And there's another piece of furniture over there that looks similar to that. So we're going to check on it and see if we can obtain that for ourselves as well. But isn't that an interesting interior to that cabinet? And some of the desks and files and things that we've accumulated along the way, and there's some more that are in that office that probably will be ours. But here's our hideout of stuff that needs to be done, and there's our nice big tall file cabinet. We're going to be set to go. There's our dehumidifier, because when very many people are in here, it sweats up the windows. So that's what it looks like on March the 10th of '08, and we'll continue to go nowhere but up. This is the bathroom. The rumor is that it's going to be wild and crazy when this gets repainted, so we'll have to come back in once that happens and see what they do. And here is another entryway. This is another cold room here. We'll go down this way. The hall's been repainted except for the blue, which needs to be touched up. But we're going here into the part that we affectionately call the refrigerator. And there's our first pile of stuff that has to be overcome. There's where we keep our extra tables. There we are looking at what the ceiling looks like and what needs to be done. Looking over across. There's our bingo spinner and boxes of stuff and wooden spools that we've already used a couple of those. Those are good for various and sundry things. We've got some hanging antique clothes in those bags there, kind of protection from some things in this room. There's where some ceiling starts as opposed to just lath, but it's not very good ceiling. Has wires hanging down from it that supported the suspended ceiling previously. Sign holder. Borrowed ladder, borrowed bed, folding chairs belong to us. There is a display cabinet that belongs to us. Bought that from the Denton auction. A collection of fans in case we don't get air conditioning in. Now the floor. Three good panes of glass over there, and the fourth one is such that as soon as we try to move it, it's going to shatter and dump little pieces all over the floor, so we haven't done anything about moving it yet. There's one of the worst holes in here. We don't know if it's currently raining down through that or not. We've had a little bit of roof work prior to the main part of the winter storm, and so maybe it fixed it so that it won't actually come in down this particular spot. Our Historical Society sign and our front doors and the file cabinet that can be put in the office. Shutters for display, a Lonesome milk can. All these little patches on the floor are boards that we bolted down in May of '07 so we could party in this room without having people put a leg down through holes in the floor. Some of them are worse holes than others. Some of them are just a little saggy, but that's the decoration of those. Here's the back bar from the Sorex drugstore with a nice sign laying on the top that needs to be, it says Sorex drug, but it needs to be worked on by someone that knows about neon signs. But someday maybe we'll have that all up and going. There's rumors that somebody's going to volunteer to strip the back bar. It's going to be beautiful when that gets done. And then it gets worse because over here we have still in storage beds from the VFW. We haven't even dug around over in there. We have never swept over in there. We just kind of walk through here. There's some branches from the cottonwood tree that we have stockpiled and a bundle of twigs from the cottonwood tree. That's all that's left, so we obviously have to save every part of it that we can. There's some more ceiling tile. We have some of that extra and we've been using that. Extra fluorescent bulbs. You see the door there on the south that opens out into the alley, and a nice double door, which is one of the places we can bring in bigger items, because the front door has got a divider in the middle, and so those are only two regular width doors. There's a door here too that we think is going to be interesting to dig out. It has something on the glass that we can read if the light is just right, but can't read it today. But anyway, an interesting door. And then this back room is really dark. I don't think I can get a picture back here, but this is where hopefully someday maybe will be the spot that our gypsum tunnel sample display is, with some of our gypsum items in it. It's a big space in need of many things. Back here we have a collection of walkers, which we're probably all going to need before such time as we get this museum up and running, but there they are. A nice pile of wood that we inherited along with the building. Some of it may be usable, depends on what we do. Clothes rack, some kind of a big fan. Pegboard display. Lots of Christmas trees. We seem to have lots of Christmas things. There's another little computer table with a borrowed TV and DVD on it. Some more folding chairs, pieces of wood and wheelchairs, clothing rack. This is our belongings, and this is where we are today. This is what we're thinking about working on. And obviously it's the most fun to work on the other room because it's warmer in there. Even though our furnace is only heating at 40% efficiency, it still beats being in here. So we keep this door shut between us here. That's interesting. And there's our heat barrier. And back into the sunshine.